Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifested, so we binge on our Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. Dark horse in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing.
Okay, I think we're in the next round. Okay, sweet. All right, let me get this set up.
We'll be quick. Very much, because I was going to say it's Caleb's time right now. I know Caleb pretty.
Okay, that's weird. Here we go. Can you hear me now? That was awfully weird. That's that's definitely gonna hurt the views there. But what's up, guys? Hopefully that doesn't kill every view that I have in the first 10 seconds of the video or whatever. But yeah, we're back. We're back. So yeah, definitely check out the exclusive interview we have with Simon there. Let's just start this all over again, like we never left. So definitely check out. The market is scared. Zebec and Near are busy. They are out here building, right? Some huge news coming up from Near and some huge possible news coming up from Zebec. Definitely come over to the Patreon where we have an exclusive interview with Simon Babakani. I just showed you guys there the kind of proof of interview, which we'll show you one more time here. I see one of the members of Throbbing Lantern, a member of the Patreon in the house. Simon still hasn't dropped his gem that he dropped in the exclusive interview yet for the public. So definitely come over and see that. Let me get in here. So let's go ahead and play this so you can see.
Okay, I think we're in the next round.
Okay, sweet. All right, let me get this set up. And we get things set up, and Simon does the exclusive interview. So definitely come over to Patreon and check that out, where we have open mic nights every Saturday, Symbolism Sundays every Sunday. This Sunday we went over Saturn, okay? How Saturn relates to the crypto market. There's so many symbols for Saturn in the crypto market, and then just the world, right? So yeah, we got that there. And also we have exclusive agentic AI picks that I do not share on the main channel over there in the Patreon. Definitely come check it out here. And let's get into what we have going today. So let's get up to date on some Near news before we get into the big thing that Near announced, which has huge implications. We see here Near intents just crossed 223.9 milli, okay, in daily swap volume, setting a new all-time high. And of course, you can see that this number 322 is Skull and Bones. 223. I mean, just saying, might be something there, maybe not, but of course, them setting a new all-time high, and they continuously have been doing this within the last couple months here. Near even gives you a site where you can go on and see their revenue and how it's climbing. They had a big day here on the 5th, June 5th, but you can see here near the value in near increasing the cumulative fees. And by the way, they do buybacks. So they're currently also buying back the near token, right? Similar to Zebec, right? And we also have here revenue from near intents. So they're getting revenue not only from cumulative fees from near, buybacks from near, but also revenue from near intent. Okay. So very much a growing revenue company near, and they keep blasting through these all-time highs here, like it's seemingly every month, right? Gotta believe a clarity that only grows and grows and grows and grows. And then they have here Near's weekly revenue has nearly 4x in 6 weeks to 144 plus million. Just keeps growing. This is from June 9th. So both of these, June 8th and June 9th, very new data. They're just continuing to kill it out here. Near is. And then for the big news that they have, Hyperliquid perps are now live on Near. Deposit any asset from 35 plus change directly into Hyperliquid X to access 50 plus markets with up to 40x leverage. What's next? Confidential perps. Today is step one. Now, confidential perps, that's absolutely insane. All right. Let me talk to you guys here. Let's do a little close up here for a second here. Confidential perps. So literally Donald Trump, in theory, right? In theory, Donald Trump could okay, no, he's going to announce bad news about Iran tomorrow. Then go on to Near, get a confidential perp in oil, knowing that oil prices are going to go up when he announces bad news. And it's completely okay because in theory, you can't find them. Right? In theory, you can't find them. Or let's say Bill Gates wanted to announce some terrible news for Microsoft. He could go on to Hype. I think they might have stock perps, announce that bad news, and then, collect on a short perp on Hype, right? Or let's say Arthur Hayes, right? Let's say Arthur Hayes knows he's going to announce that he's going to dump or something like that, allegedly, right? And he goes on Near, uses confidential Near perps and puts a perp on Hype, Zcash, and puts a perp on Near. Well, there's no way to technically trace him allegedly. If he does that, it's absolutely insane to think about that, right? So confidential perps on Near, like this is going to open the floodgates like amazingly for money, and we shall see how this is going to work out here. Shout out to our guy in the house, Underdog Research Channel. We're going to get into some stuff that Underdog Research Channel mentioned in the short, right? Shout out to my short poster. There have been a lot of shorts posted lately, and definitely follow me on Twitch if you guys haven't already. Let me get back into it here. So we got that here, and then I want to play something from the roll up. They're talking to the CEO of SVRN, where technology serves you, fueled by Serve, built on Near. Sam, let's say Turnolo, okay? He's going to be talking about Near. We're going to listen to what he says about the Venice integration breakdown, okay?
Offers, but yeah, I think that side of the market is going to be very competitive, and there will be new entrants as well.
I saw a flowchart sort of design architecture diagram from the Near protocol account recently that described how Near underpins Venice and how it helps to secure these things. And I think you're right. I think the convergence of these three categories is the real value proposition and potential ceiling here. Can you describe a little bit more how Near helps to support some of the, initiatives like Venice with, their private models? And then, there's other things like, I think maybe Near and Hyperliquid could potentially collab, or Near and Zcash, we're seeing more collabs. But with respect to Venice, this one is already kind of, it's already happening. Can you just describe it a little bit in more detail?
Yeah, they like the way that Venice is set up, and I think Eric just gave this really good descriptor of like where it sits in the kind of like almost like a middleware, but with a consumer front end that allows consumers to select different trust assumptions and different trust models of how they interact and different levels of privacy as a part of that. Near's infrastructure on the private inference side is one of those underlying providers, which provides the greatest degree of trust in cryptographic verification around users' interactions through inference processes and confirmation over what models they're actually touching that are running inside of TEEs. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that, where there's B2B integration and support of Near private inference for those attributes. But Venice has been doing an incredible job. Like, it's all over the place right now. So hats off to Eric and the team.
Yeah.
So he just kept focusing on privacy in Venice and how Near enabled privacy for Venice. So I thought, okay, let me go see what he's talking about, because what is Venice all about, right? And I was kind of shocked in what I was seeing there. Not really shocked, but you know what I mean. So I mentioned that I had a show a couple of weeks ago where I said the world as we know it will be different in 2 years. And shout out to you, under our research channel. You were in the crowd on that, right? And you were talking about like there's a movie with Megan Fox where she plays this bot, and the bot ends up being like it falls in love with the man, and it wants to kill the man's wife because it wants to totally be the man's companion. And I really do think, as far as the job market, as far as agentic AI, robots and agentic AI are going to take a lot of jobs, and it's not even 3 to 5 years. It's literally in the next 2 years, guys. Like, literally, not hyperbole, not clickbait. In the next 2 years, the world as we know it is going to change, and you can't afford to not invest at this point. So, taking a look at Venice AI, I have it pulled up, and maybe this isn't all that they do, but so this is Venice AI and some of their public characters. So very interesting here. We have Janie, 20-year-old woman, responding to your post looking for a roommate. She's petite and slender, and you can kind of imagine where the rest of that goes. Redhead, hazel eyes type of deal going on there. And then just looking at some of the other things here, Molly and Millie, blonde cheerleader, slender petite girls. You can imagine where the rest of that goes. So maybe that's not all that Venice does, but that it seems like Venice is going down that path as far as privacy with AI, and that you chat with these type of bots. Okay, so interesting to think about. An interesting comment there from that one guy. I hear what you're saying there, brother. So down that line, Venice, you know what I mean? Venice might be going down that line. And there clearly is a lane for that with Venice and other things like that. And coming up here soon, this may be a large lane for things, right? We all know, if you watch the TV show Upload. Shout out to Upload, very good TV show. Hard to believe that they were this far in the future with what they were talking about 6 years ago, but they are. Where, long story short, a guy dies and he gets uploaded to the metaverse. It's way more complicated than that, but they have those type of bots in the metaverse, the Venice type of bots in the metaverse that he gets uploaded to, his consciousness, right? So interesting that Venice is going that way, but so we got Venice, we got Hyperliquid and perpetual markets. Near is also getting into the treasury game. Okay. We have this from Near Legion. While others announce beta Near ships, Near confidential rails have been mainnet for a while now, with 16 plus million in confidential total value locked. Try real confidential swaps, payments, and withdrawals on near.com and confidential treasuries via Trezor. Okay. And I looked up Trezor, and it seems like they do multi-sig treasuries, something that Zebec also does, right? I don't know if Trezor has any involvement with Zebec. I wasn't able to find any, but multi-sig confidential treasuries with Trezor. Near is also cross-chain swaps, already at over 20 billion in volume, generating real revenue that's already flowing into Near buybacks. Okay. And this is something I love about both Near and Zebec, is that they already have revenue generating into them. This is not something like the metaverse, like maybe when, possibly. No, this is payment. This is treasuries. This is things that we need right now. Real-time payroll, remittance payments, okay, instant payments. This is happening as we speak, right? Now, Sui is doing something with confidential payments too. It's interesting that Near Legion kind of tagged this. I don't know if Near has anything to do with Sui payments or anything like that, but it kind of seems like he's implying that Near might have something to do with Sui confidential transfers. Maybe they do, maybe they don't here. Possible. But we see here Trezor, all chains in one multi-sig, built for teams that have full control under their fingertips. Okay. And I know at some point when Zebec had Nautilus, this was one of their kind of focuses, right? So I know Near and Zebec partner. So could Trezor be white labeled Zebec? It's hard to know here. I wasn't able to find any connections there. And on the website, they just show Aurora in Near. So it's hard to say, maybe not. But this is Near's answer to multi-sig treasury. And of course, that with that treasury, they would use agentic AI to have you do whatever you needed to do in that treasury. Now, Zebec, this is from Ghost. Shout out to Ghost. Zebec just moved from enterprise pilot mode for payroll, or just moved to enterprise pilot mode for payroll on Stellar. The CEO has already hinted on a major European bank as the first client for the pilot program, Societe Generale, okay, who recently launched the Euro CV stablecoin on Stellar. Definitely fits the description. Now, this Ghost knows something. He possibly might know something, all right? Big news. A bank of all things, which would require complete security, complete checks, all the compliances, of Zebec has Societe Generale, right, as their first enterprise partner. I think that speaks volumes for where Zebec is with security, where Zebec is with compliance, and where Zebec is with confidence. Okay, so if this is announced, right, I'm going to be really ecstatic, right? And again, just more revenue and more liquidity that can come to Zebec because of this. Let's listen to this little clip that that Ghost posted with Zach Rector and Simon. Again, remember the days where people kept calling Zebec a scam? Well, Simon has since had interviews with Zach Rector. Jay Claver has talked about Zebec. He had an interview with Paul Barron. He was on the XRP stage, right? Present at the same event that Brad Garlinghouse was present at. Shout out to Brad Kimes for setting that up. At the same event that David Schwartz was present at, right? And very close here now to having Societe Generale as an enterprise partner. Again, I think Zebec and Near will be two of the biggest winners of this next bull run. Just mark it. But let's listen here.
Can you give us any other? Give us something, Simon. Give us somebody.
We have some very big ones actually that are going to be announcing publicly soon.
Okay.
So we have a large European bank that is going to be publicly announcing that they are now running payroll on Zebec using Stellar Rail. So they're going to be our pilot and our first client on the new Stellar product, which is going to be live at the end of May. So we're super excited about that. And then in the pipeline, we have some even larger companies with larger global workforces. We have some tech staffing companies that are on board and will be deploying hopefully on Stellar or XRPL.
Can you give us any other? Give us something, Simon. Give us somebody.
We have some very big ones actually that are going to be announcing publicly soon.
Okay.
So we have a large European bank that is going to be publicly announcing that they are now running payroll on Zebec using Stellar Rail. So they're going to be our pilot and our first client on the new Stellar product, which is going to be live at the end of May. So we're super excited about that. And then in the pipeline, we have some even larger companies with larger global workforces. We have some tech staffing companies that are on board and will be deploying hopefully on Stellar or XRPL.
So they also have tech stacking companies that may deploy in addition to a bank, right? Societe Generale. And, just to kind of point out there, Societe Generale, they're a super validator, I believe, on Canton. So there are Canton connections there. And shout out to my Coin Vault members. Shout out to Maximus Crypto. Shout out to Crypto Future. Now, one of the things that Max pointed out, gotta salute Max for this research. I can't remember which video it was on. It may have been this one or another one, but Max found in the GitLab connections to, let's just say he found some connections to Zebec and Canton, right? So huge things there. You'll definitely have to come check out one of these videos here. I believe it might have been. It was a live, I think, here. It was a live. Okay, yeah, you'll just have to come over here and check it out. I'll fish it out one day and I'll show like which video it is, but I definitely want you guys to come over to Coin Vault and check this stuff out here. And yeah. Let's get into our comments here. Okay. fixed the sound. Had to get. I'm going to figure out how to cut that out from the beginning of the video here. Once it goes live here. Thriving Lantern, I recommend his Patreon to watch the whole thing. Thank you, Thriving Lantern. Appreciate that. What's good? Peter Morton in the house. Yep. Stacking like a champ, brother Peter. Let's go. What's going on, bro? What's up, JTX5? Paul Andrew keeping it low. I hear that, brother. Millions. Let's go. Drop the news. Yeah, I hope it's low for the next few months at least. Well, let's kind of look at the chart here. Near is looking good, despite all the stuff that Arthur Hayes did and whatever happened with Arthur Hayes allegedly. Near is still experiencing a lot of inflows, a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity coming in there. And again, I was talking about this on the Coin Vault with Crux. Shout out to Crypto Crux of Crypto. Shout out to Rob. We were talking about this, and I really do think that this was kind of similar what Arthur Hayes did to kind of what happened with Solana from a blockchain that kind of rhymes with Insane Clown Posse, or is similar, has the same initials as Insane Clown Posse. You can do the math on that one. He came on with one guy, and he ended up funding Solana. Solana went to under $10, and it moved to being one of the biggest gainers of the last bull run. It went from like $8 to like 200 and something dollars. Honestly, I think we see the same thing with Near. Like, as far as like it's going to go from wherever it is now to who knows how far, right? And we've seen Grayscale, Bitwise. We've seen it land in two different trusts / ETFs. And we even have here, let me kind of pull it up for you here. Arizona and their Supreme Court mentioned possibly having Near as a part of their treasury. So they mentioned this kind of early. This was maybe this summer. Let me find that post for you. Doing it live here. Let's see if I just search Arizona, maybe we'll find it here. Okay, there it is. XRP officially added to Arizona State Senate Bill 1649 as a part of the state proposed digital assets reserve. So let me blow this up so you can see it better. So they said they could include any of the following: Bitcoin, Digibyte, XRP, stablecoin, a fungible token, Dash, eGold, Internet Computer, Near, Ravencoin, Chia, or eCash. So very interesting list of coins there. Of course, probably the best, in my opinion, might be XRP, Bitcoin, Near, Internet Computer, and Digibyte in that order. But very interesting list of coins that they list right there. Okay. It will hit or see, excuse me, see it hitting 0.002 or lower. Skull and Bones, Sailor sold 32 Bitcoin. Indeed. Yes, I see that too. I am stacking my hidden gem that nobody's talking about. I am so bullish on. Man, I'm loving these prices. Interesting hitter. Root Network, LOL. Same here, bro. Got some for staking. Bitcoin has to hit 40K. People are saying Bitcoin hit 40K. I'm thinking 47, and maybe that's it. But 40K, we'll see. stepping into this live by Black R, 6 minutes behind, but I'll rewind and catch it all. What is up, Underdog Research Channel? Well, you missed nothing but me having my mic on mute, which I know I didn't press, which is interesting. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see here. Let's look at the chart here, because here's the interesting thing about the chart. On the weekly, it seems like it has more to fall if you look at the stochastic, right? Now, only time in history, like, or only time I see here going back to 15 where it actually got below oversold on the weekly already happened here in 2026. Is it going to happen here again in 2026? Here again, right? Maybe. That was like, this one was 4 years ago, so this would make sense. Maybe this happens too. Before it to happen 2 times is kind of insane. But if you look at the stochastic, it's not all the way down here yet. Also kind of matches what the GAN-FAN is showing, which the GAN-FAN shows somewhere around 52, right? At the bottom of that red triangle. If you go over time. My mouse is not being the kindest to me here. But yeah, somewhere around this. It could be anywhere in this area, right? So the end of June, right? So anywhere from like 52 to 47. So who knows what can happen at the end of June? We still got stuff going on with, you know, Iran. You know, if Trump keeps showing up to Knick games, crazy Knick fans and things like that, who knows what can happen, right? But yeah, I think we definitely have more to fall here. Let me remove that. It somehow got really small here for me to see. Hopefully it's not that small for you. Okay, let me come back here. We'll add to stage again here. And let's continue. I see root at 5095. Underdog, I'll let you slide on the 50 push-ups since we go way back. Next time you lay, fam, that's 50 off top, brother. 50 push-ups, feet off the ground though. I got the Zebec dip today. Crypto Dad Pilot, what's up, Ruel? What's up, Crypto Dad Pilot? Rolling with Toshi, agentic AI could tap into ZBCN for secure automated payments to handle business tasks independently. And I definitely believe that agentic AI will tap into Zebec. We definitely know that. We definitely know that Simon has told us that agentic AI is coming for Zebec, and he's alluded to it too with the Google partnership. Definitely check out everything that's been going on with this Google partnership. So yeah, I think that Google partnership is going to make a lot of sense, right? I think content creators are just going to increase and increase and increase as time goes on, because everybody, we don't care about the news. We really don't care too much about movie stars anymore. Like today's star is the, I Show Speed. Today's star is Aiden Ross. Today's star is Anton Daniels, those, Coach Greg Adams, those guys. Like, content creators are the stars of today, right? Excellent comment there on the redheads there. Venice is a bit tenser subnet. Interesting. What's up, Shawnee Sean 6? Yeah, people are tired of cash advance apps. Indeed. We're getting Google Play soon. Samsung and Apple. What's up, Rue? What's up, Jose de la Torre? Let's go, Zebec Net. Retail only, seeking in hopes for a better position. As you see, wallet holders are the same. Growing, actually. What's up, Jay Shear? Another Patreon member in the house. What up, though, family? Zebec is king of PayFi, indeed. Eric Davis, does X402 have an official coin, or is it just a protocol? Well, there are a lot of X402 coins out here. We talk about a lot of them in the Patreon. So definitely, if you want to talk about X402 coins, come over to Patreon. But yeah, there are multiple. There are multiple. There are definitely multiple. All this infrastructure doesn't add up to price. What's up, FaceFacts? Another Patreon member in the house. This is something that crypto people talk about all the time, because you always see coins like Hedera, Stellar, XRP announce all this news, and the price just stays where it is, right? Again, I think this is going to change as we get ETFs, right? We know we have XRP ETFs. We know we have Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs. And as these ETFs become like Fortune 500 ETFs, as they go into retirement funds and things like that, that's when we see the price of these cryptos really pick up and take off. And you also seen like cryptos like Canton get ETFs, cryptos like Near get ETFs, cryptos like Hedera get ETFs. Once all of this tokenization starts happening and we get all these tokenized treasuries using agentic AI and trading these tokenized ETFs back and forth, this is something we get really deep into on a Patreon for sure, right? Where this is the future, right? This is the future. And then this is when I think we see the price hit, right? We already talked to you on a channel about Nadine Chakar and what she said about the DTCC tokenizing quadrillions. Well, that's due to happen on July. In July, around the middle of July, right after Independence Day, right? So wouldn't it make a whole bunch of sense to steal people's hearts, quote unquote, with June, with Bitcoin falling all the way to maybe some say 40, 47, 50, 52, something around there, where people's souls are just actually like, I don't even want to hear a word about cryptocurrency, right? Because Bitcoin will fall to that price, which isn't quite bad considering Bitcoin went all the way down to 15K last bear cycle, right? So it going down to 37 or it going down to 47 or 40, right? Isn't bad in the grand scheme of things, but it's going to take people's hearts like you will not believe. Only for like 2 to 3 weeks later, the market go right back up, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. Mo with the lazy eye. What's up? $1 a day keeps the poverty away. Indeed. Indeed. Like, we're seriously at the point, guys, where you can't afford not to invest. You got the robots out here. You got the agentic AI out here. You got people from India and people from, different countries where you can outsource engineers. You can outsource phone jobs. You can give the phone job to the agentic AI. Well, you're going to be able to outsource maybe even cooking. You'll have the robot arm do the cooking, right? Some of the things we talk about in the Patreon. Like, jobs are going to be kind of scarce, right? But of course, we do have on top of that the population agenda. Women are not necessarily having children anymore, and can you even afford to have a children if you're a couple, right? At this point in time, right? Oh man, and it's just looking kind of grim, right? So it's kind of boss up or go home, to quote Coach Greg Adams. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Coach. Rue, the screen has been stuck on a document for the last few minutes. We didn't get the chart you were talking about. Okay, let me see here. Was I talking about a chart? Okay, let's see here. Yes, I was talking about this chart. I was talking about the Bitcoin chart. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So here is the chart here on the stochastic, right? On the stochastic, it looks like Bitcoin has some more to drop. But if we look at the two RSIs kind of over time on the weekly, Bitcoin dropped undersold or oversold here in 2022. Also did it once here, February 2026. So is it going to do it twice? That's kind of odd. But hey, odd has been this year. And it looks like, at least on the stochastic RSI, there is more to fall. Okay. There's more to fall. So kind of matching this with the GAN fan, if you extend it out to the last part of June, well, that means gonna fall to maybe 44, 47, somewhere around that range, give or take. Like the low 50s, high 40s, all the way to maybe the low 40s or 37, right? Shout out to Longview Compute. We had him on the Coin Vault. He was saying 37K. That's the lowest I've ever heard anyone that I consider to be an intelligent person, right? Shout out to him, right? Only the best we bring to you on Coin Vault and on the channels, right? Underdog Research Channel, Should Focus Digital, Longview Compute, Crux of Crypto, Maximus Crypto, you know, the best around out here. 37K, maybe we get down to that far, right? But bottom line is you should have some buying opportunities in June. Don't look at it as a bad thing, but you can tackle it a couple different ways. Buying opportunities, wait for the buying opportunity, or also maybe possibly a Bitcoin short. Shout out to BTCC. The QR code is in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Hitter, you know I ain't never turned down push-ups. Blackrue, you joining us? Hey, I'm definitely joining y'all for the push-ups. I was doing some push-ups today, bro. I'm trying out here, guys. I'm trying out here. Like, I was looking at some video I did in 2022, right? Bro, I was so much fatter, bro. I was like at least 60 pounds heavier out here. So yeah, let's boss up not only with our bank accounts, let's get the bodies right out here, gentlemen, too. Right? Underdog, what's a good bro? Nadine got music for the ears. That's a gnat. Likes to fly in my face here. Gotta love that. Les Square in the house. New Jersey in the house. Another Patreon member. Well. Look who's back. Phantom Beat with the well out here. Shout out to Longview Compute. Was just mentioning that, brother. He's in the house today. Let's bring up his channel as well here. You got me laughing. Phantom Beat with that well out here. Oh man. Talking about some well. The Knicks fans, what were you doing out here, guys? Like, you're making New York look bad. You know, come on, Knicks fans. Do better out here. Shout out to Longview Compute. who he's actually had Yuval Roots out on his show. Shout out to Yuval. Yuval liked something that I reposted today. I think it was something I reposted from you, Longview. Yuval liked it. Really kind of Yuval to do that. Shout out to him. But definitely come check out Longview Compute. Crux of Crypto's been on the show. He's actually building a Canton app, okay? And he has some of the best Canton content around out here, if I do say so myself. Shout out to him. And like I said, he's had Yuval on as well. And you can see here, I checked out the whole episode of him and Crux of Crypto, which I thought was a great episode on Internet Computer. Shout out to Internet Computer. Definitely check that episode out and check out his latest here. And definitely come on over here and like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We blasted by 9,500. We're at 9,042 or something like that. Well on our way to 10K. And if you need to find a brother Underdog Research channel, he's right there. Definitely come check him out. I think he was doing, yes, he had a plume video today. Love the new thumbnails, brother. So definitely come over here, check out our brother Underdog Research channel. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate it. Kraken going big today. Indeed. So, yeah, very much like what's going on here with Zebec and Near. They just keep building and building and building out here, guys. What do you think? I want to hear from you guys. What are you watching in the market? What do you expect to have a big bull run coming up here soon? How far do you think Bitcoin will drop? And if you made it to the end, definitely put Near in the comments, not in the live comments, but after the show ends, put it in the comments of the video. It will help spread the video around, which I'll definitely need, since the first like 15 seconds, I didn't realize that my mic was muted. So thank you guys so much for coming through, and I'm out. Peace.